Hi guys, so this is my look for today. I'm showing you a bridal slash bridesmaid look. It was requested. So this is the look that I've put together for you. I have a wig on right now, but I don't know the brand and I don't know the name of it or anything. And I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about my dating experience and what I think about marriage. If you have any questions or you want to add to the topic or the discussion, please do. I love hearing from you guys. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I'll have all that information down below. All of the products that I use down below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Alright, so as far as the topic for today, since we're talking about marriage, weddings, I'm gonna actually talk about my opinions and my views on marriage and wedding as a single gal. Marriage is not something that I aspire to, and I think part of it has to do with my dating record. I feel like marriage might be one of those things that I didn't know that I really wanted until it's like on the table. I do want to spend my life with somebody, I do want a partner, but I don't know about marriage. What's the difference? Well, for me, marriage is signing a contract. It's something that is a legally binding document in which you need a lawyer to get out of. It's like going into business with somebody. The business of having a family, whatever that means. I just don't know if I want to, I don't think that that is like romantic. And not to say that I'm somebody who fully believes that, you know, the person you marry, it needs to be this like knockout romantic situation. Traditionally, marriage is its older constitution, or its older reason for being was it was a business contract and your parents set it up. And it's kind of like that in some other countries still, where it's more of a, you know, a business thing of like, hey, let's do this thing. Let's build this family. That's kind of looked like the arranged marriage. That's kind of looked down on, but I don't necessarily know that that's a terrible thing. Like, yes, you should love your husband, but I think when it's arranged and you have a very specific understanding of what marriage is and what it's going to entail, then it makes more sense. I think in our Western culture, we don't really know what marriage entails. I would like to be with somebody I like and I love. And a lot of times women, we get caught up in it because we're taught from a very young age that we should aspire to getting married. Even if we're like taught to do well in school and, you know, be the best you can be, we're kind of subliminally taught to get married, like to aspire to it. Men don't have that. Men don't have that. I mean, maybe in some cultures they do, some certain family circles they do, but as a whole, men don't get taught that marriage is something that they should aspire to, that somehow they've made it if they get married. And I don't think that's fair to women, because then it puts a lot of pressure on men to do these things, to get married, and people end up getting married when they're just not right for each other. I'm saying that I think that it should be a little bit of both. I think you should get married because you love the person and you like them, but also because you think that you respect them, and you think you could spend a lot of time with them, even if you were to fall out of love with them for like a bit, because you can go in and out of love with somebody. I think that's definitely a thing that happens. And I think the couples who stand the test of time and stand it well or with some dignity, it's because they recognize that, hey, I may not be super into this person right now, but I really respect them. I like to be around them. They respect me, and our children and our home and what we've created is amazing and beautiful. And I also don't feel like you need to legally sign a document in which to have that be a reality for you. And I think a lot of people don't see it as big a deal or understand exactly what they're getting themselves into before doing it. But I also think it's important for people to live together, to get to know if they're gonna even like the person, their living habits, and how are they gonna cohabitate, and then raise children on top of that when they have just fundamental differences. That is my take on marriage. At this age this time in my life, I am definitely looking for a partner, literally vetting the situation. I'm right now in an area where I'm not going to find the guy. The chances of me finding the guy that I'm going to want to spend a lot of time with is slim. I think one of the main things that I'm looking for is I'm looking for someone who already has their career, that I can't be choosy. Because I'm not doing what I was doing 2 years ago. I'm not making the money that I was making a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. I'm not that person anymore. I'm the person who is of a certain age, who lives with their parents. I've made this life decision. I don't live on my own anymore. I don't really feel like the adult I felt 6 months ago. And so it feels kind of hypocritical for me to ask and for me to want someone who is the adult that I am not. However, that is still what I want. I know my capacity and I know that I can get back to that place, and I will get back to that place. Just right now, you know, that's not what can happen. And I'm gonna be in this space for about 2 years. So right now, I'm actually not looking to date somebody. Seriously. And even if it were casually, I'm still really not interested in doing that because I know that I would get attached. I've already moved and had an adventure in another city. And one of the biggest and hardest cities in the world, might I add. And coming back here and dating somebody who hasn't done all that or doesn't have their career in order is a little bit like, no thanks. I like this color. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this color called Derailed from the Derailed from the Vice 2 palette. It's like, it has silver in it, but it also has a little bit of gold, and I just wanna break the color up a bit, so I'm just gonna add that. I'm just putting it on the outside because I'm gonna add some brown to the outside of my eye. Oh, and I wanted to say to Betty Buccaneer, I wanted to respond to you, but I can never respond to you. You have it so that I'm unable to push reply. It only has thumbs up or thumbs down. So don't think I'm not reading your comments and like wanting to say things. I just can't do it. I'm also someone who is not a big proponent of settling. He told me not to settle. It's always been a bit of advice that I have always valued. I don't want to settle for somebody who I know isn't right for me, because I'm just going to end up being angry with them, and especially if they're black. The black males already have enough going on in this world, and they don't need their partner being angry at them because they're not who they want them to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to set myself up for success. I'm not going to do that to myself. And I'm not going to do that to him. And I run into a lot of issues with black men because of my philosophies. I don't believe in a lot of like anti-gay stuff, and I run into a lot of black men, oh man, that's unnatural, or no, it's not right, and like I think blah, blah, blah. And like, to me, that is just a hard line. But at my age, I'm looking for a potential partner. So if I find somebody who is that way, who does have those emotions and feel that gays are wrong and whatever, I worry that if we have a child and that child is gay, any other trans or queer or whatever, that he's going to make my child feel like they can't be who they want to be. And that is a huge thing for me. Huge. I don't want my kid to feel like they can't be who they want to be, unless who they want to be is a serial killer or a pedophile. That's the only time I'm like, look, you can't be who you want to be. You can't be whatever your brain tells you that you are. You have to stop. You can't do those things. But like homosexuality, like, fuck it, do what you want to do. Like, be happy. I want my children to be happy, and I want my children to feel loved, and I don't want my children to feel alienated or uncomfortable in their home. And I would be really hurt if I had a friend who got with somebody who was a low-key racist. Like, no dude, that's not appropriate. So, what am I doing now? What are we doing, guys? What did we just talk about? Concealer. Use Chestnut by LA Girl. So while filming, I got distracted and I stopped talking about the subject, but that was basically the end of it and all I had to say about it. At this point, I'm just adding on concealer, and I'm telling you guys about a weird date I had, but it's not important. I'll tell you in another video. I basically just need somebody who's a forward-thinking person, because I don't want to have a life where I stop learning because I'm with somebody who isn't into discovering new things. So now I'm going to be adding more color back to here. Sorry, no. Sorry. I'm going to powder now. So I'm going to let this powder bake on my face. Wow, those cheeks already look sunken, right? Take this brush and brush away the excess from the translucent powder. Put it on the apple so that when I smile, it looks nice and rosy. There we go. There are those cheeks. light color to open up my eyes a bit. Just a little bit in the corner so that the corner opens up as well. So I got my eyelashes on. So this is the look, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. Ah! Lipstick in the hair. I've always heard about that. Now I'm experiencing it. As I was saying, thanks so much for watching this tutorial, you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll have all the information in the drop box, and have a fantastic day. Bye. I can't with this hair. Somebody help me, give me hair help. Help me, give me hair tutorials on how to deal with hair because I can't, it's in my face. I'm not used to it.